So you want to sell stuff, right? You want to sell a product, you want to sell a service, but you're battling to really get the deal over the line. In this video, I'm going to share with you a framework that I've used called the Seller Framework to build and exit multiple million-dollar businesses. And you can use this framework right now today. So let's take a look at exactly what the Seller Framework looks like. So the first thing to say is that it's the word seller. So S-E-L-L-E-R. So this is an acronym for a step-by-step process that will allow you to essentially sell anything to anyone faster than ever before. Now, the first step is the yes. So let's look at that. So the first step here is to seek out the problem. So when you meet with the potential customer, you want to find out what matters to them. Do they want exposure? Do they want more revenue? Do they want to generate leads? And so you want to ask them things like, what made you meet with me today? You know, what is your goal right now? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to launch a product? And you really want to clarify what's important to them. That is the only job you want to first start out with. You don't want to talk about your product. You don't want to talk about your solution. You don't want to talk about how amazing your company is. The only thing that comes out of your mouth are questions, restatements, and stories. Those are the only three things that come out of your mouth. But it starts with seeking out the problem. Once you've done that, you then want to echo the problem back to the prospect. So you want to say something like, so it sounds like you have this problem. It sounds to me like you want to generate 100 million euros in revenue. Does that sound about right? And this is a process of getting the prospect to say yes. That is the number one goal. So you want to get them to essentially admit that they have a problem to you, because you cannot cure cancer unless they admit that they have it. And that's what this process is doing. So you want to seek out the problem, and then once they tell you what their problem is, you then want to echo that problem back to them. The third step is to label the pain. Okay, and you want to explain to them that it's probably not their fault. So you want to look at something like, what have they tried to date to launch that product, to generate that revenue, to get their brand story out there? How long have they tried that for? How long ago did they try that? What were the results? How did it work for them? What was the performance of that particular effort? What else have they tried? You want to get them to explain to you how they have attempted to solve the problem that they've just told you that they have, right? And you want to, as I say, explain to them, and you're not talking about products or services just yet, but you want to explain to them that it's not their fault and that they've been missing something. And that missing something is your product or service. You then want to land the dream, right? So they've told you the problem, you've echoed the problem, you have then labeled the pain, and then now you're going to land the dream. And this is where you want to tell them stories about how you have solved their problem. For instance, you wanted leads. Well, this is how we've generated a $14.7 million pipeline for X company. So it's just stories. They want brand exposure. This is how we generated brand exposure for this brand. So you want to tell them stories about your evidence or proof that will give them the perception that you can solve their problem. Now, once you've done that, you then want to explain away their concerns. Now, I've been in, can't even tell you, tens of thousands of sales meetings. There's always someone in the room that has an ego or a reason why they shouldn't do business with you. Now, what you want to do at this point is you want to use the problem that they have confirmed to you earlier to close the sale. So, for instance, if they go, yeah, but we don't have the budget right now, but you've just told me that you want a $14 million pipeline. So how do you propose you're going to solve that problem, right? So in other words, you want to use the problem that they've told you that they have to explain away their concerns. For instance, is it not the right time to make more sales for your business because I thought you wanted to make another 100 million euros a year? No, it is the right time. It is the right time. So it's not a no then. So you're using this to essentially explain away their concerns. And you want to do that by also saying something like, So what's your main concern right now? I mean, you've told me that you want to make another 100 million euros a year. But you're saying that you don't have the right budget right now, like, or the timing's not right. Well, what, explain to me, why is the timing not right now? What is your main concern? I mean, do you want to work with us? We've just told you that we through our stories, when you were essentially landing the dream, how you can deliver on the outcomes that this customer has just told you that they need, right? And then you want to ask something like, do you feel that what we are doing can solve your problem? Do you feel that what our product can do, or what our technology can do, can help you get to 100 million euros a year? And then you want to ask something like, what are you most afraid of happening? That we won't deliver? And so this process is really about you uncovering their concerns so that you can explain them away. And when you explain them away, you are opening up the door to a transaction. If you cannot explain away the concerns, you cannot open up the door to the transaction. The transaction is highly unlikely to close. But once you've explained away all their concerns, or you have good answers to all the concerns that they've raised, timing, budgets, whatever the case might be, you then want to start with you want to end with the final step, which is reinforcing the decision. So they may say, do you feel like we can solve your problem? Yes, I think you guys probably could. Okay, great. So then you want to let them know that they have made the right decision, right? You want to essentially reinforce that by them choosing to work with you, that you can solve that problem for them, right? And then what you want to do once you've landed the deal is acknowledge that they have joined your business. And so what we do at Digital Kung Fu is we send a personalized emailer, which is like, welcome to the dojo, because the company is called Digital Kung Fu, Dojo, Digital Martial Arts. And we then brand that personalized card and we say, welcome to the dojo. And we want to reinforce the relationship right from the moment the deal is concluded. And it doesn't take, I'm not saying like send the guy a Ferrari, I'm saying just acknowledge in a personalized way that they are joining your business, because that will reinforce and create a lot of equity in the relationship between you and the prospect. So that is the seller framework, SELLER. Trust me, it works. Use this in your calls, use this in your marketing. It will absolutely crush your revenue targets. I will see you in the next video, but if you like what I've had to say, or if you want to join the conversation, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.